In today's video, we're going to be talking about working with sick kiddos, so stay tuned. Hey sitters, welcome back to another video. It's Lydia, thanks for joining me. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how to deal and work with sick kiddos. First things first, as a sitter, you should be taking care of you. So like eating healthy, drinking plenty of water, washing hands, like that just comes with the job. You're working with kids, you're working with their poop and their spit up and snotty noses. Kids are known for kind of being germy, so you should be taking care of yourself, making sure that you're healthy. Number one rule of babysitting: do not ever administer medicine to children without parent permission or guidance. There was a story here locally about a babysitter who administered Benadryl to a baby and overdosed the baby, and the baby passed away. So it is very, very, very important that you do not administer any medicines to anybody, any age that you're babysitting for, unless the parents have asked you to do it or you get the parents' permission. No matter how sick they are, please just keep the parents informed, and I'm sure they will give you permission. But with doing it without their consent or without their knowledge is not okay. Now, families should not be asking you to watch their sick kids. I understand that some families do have to go to work and have a sick kid, so there's sometimes that I get asked to work with sick kids. They may throw you into a situation where you didn't even know the kid was sick until you arrived to the job. I've had that happen to me before, and that was interesting because you're stuck. You feel bad for saying no and having to turn around, so you end up just babysitting for them. And then there are times where kids get sick while I'm babysitting them. So whether it's them throwing up or them developing a temperature, we're going to talk about it all today in this video. So what do we do if a kid pukes? I cannot, I don't like it. If you can't tell, puke is not my thing. I can handle everything else. Oh man, just the thought of it. So, first off, you try not to puke on top of their puke because that just makes a double mess. But after you get through that and work through it, take a couple deep breaths and walk away, you come back to it and have to clean it up, obviously. But the type of oh my gosh, I don't know if I'll be able to get through this. So if a kid pukes on himself or herself and then onto the floor, my first reaction is, ugh! And then I make sure that all the dogs go or all the animals get put away, because I have seen many animals, when I take the kid out of the situation and there's still puke on the floor and I'm cleaning up the kid, I come back to the animals eating it. And that is the grossest thing I've ever seen. So my first and foremost step is to put all the animals away so they don't get into it. And then after I put all the animals away, I tend to strip whoever it is just right down. I leave the clothes there, leave the mess there, take the kid and bathe them. You kind of want to try and calm them down and let them understand it's okay, it's not a big deal, we'll just clean it up and we'll move on, right? You don't want to make a big deal out of it. I try not to. I know I have a really bad, when I see throw up or anything like that, I tend to get grossed out, and I tend to you can see it on my body, on my face. I tense up. I get stressed really quickly. So I try to make sure that I'm realizing my emotions I have to control, so that they're not scared, they're not upset, they're not I want to make them feel comfortable, because they're also sick. And when you're feeling sick, I bet you don't want somebody to be all up, oh my gosh, you threw up all over the floor. Really? No. So taking care of the child first and foremost, before you even clean up the mess. Once you got them all cleaned up, you have a nice bath time with them. What I usually do is prop them in front of the TV, and while they're watching the TV, I clean up the mess. So I throw the clothes. Usually I wash them, okay, not in the sink of the bathroom or the kitchen or anything, but if they have a garage sink, I'll wash them in the garage sink. And just rinse them off so they're not stinky. Or I just throw it in the washer if there's nothing in the washer. And then I clean up the mess, paper towels, Clorox wipes, trash bags, and throw it out. And then we move on with the night. We don't reminisce on it. We don't talk about it. I do check in with them. How are you feeling? Is your tummy hungry? We try to do lots and lots of water. That's not a fun one for me. Like I said, I can do everything else, but throw up is not. Whew. What do we do for colds or snotty noses, runny nose? So clear snot usually it's not contagious. It's just kind of regular for kids. They don't blow their noses like adults do. We sniffle it back up into our nose. They just let it run. Sometimes it could be as simple as like allergies. Now green snot, green boogers, means that they're probably, or there's most likely an infection somewhere. And it's contagious. So I just usually keep my distance with that, make sure I'm washing my hands more often before I touch their food, after I touch their food, stuff like that. Making sure that siblings are not up in their face so it's not spreading to the sibling if there are any. That, and then on top of that, I make sure not to give them any milk. Milk makes it worse. It makes you more congested. So water is really good. But also telling the parents when they get home and just making sure that they understand that, hey, so-and-so has a runny nose and it's green, so I just wanted you to be aware. What do we do if the kid has a temperature? A temperature is anything over 99, which is considered then a fever. So what I usually do is I monitor their temperature. I make sure to check it frequently to see if it's going up or going down. And then I try to cool them down with a wet washcloth. I ask them how they're feeling because that also plays a part in it. And if anything else is hurting them, that could indicate as to what it might be that's giving them a fever. And then also let the parents know that the kiddo had a temperature and what the temperature was. Okay, so diarrhea. What do we do to help with that? So there's not much you can do for diarrhea, except for keeping them close to a toilet. And then also limiting juices or just exchanging water for the juice or the juice for water, because it can just make the diarrhea worse. And then also a brat diet, which is banana, rice, applesauce, and toast. So usually I make toast for the kids with a side of applesauce and hope that helps their stomach issues. But again, there's not much you can do. Just keep the parents informed. Alright, so that is all of my tips and tricks on sick kids. Like I said in the beginning, I try not to babysit sick kids because I also have to babysit a bunch of other kiddos and I don't want to spread it. So I do a good job of keeping myself healthy and then trying to make parents aware of they're not the only family I babysit for, so I'd rather babysit healthy kids, right? They wouldn't want me to bring a sickness from another family into their family's home, so getting them to understand that I don't want to take a sickness from their family's home to another family's home is key. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know down in the comment section below. I will see you guys in the next video, and thanks for watching.